Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're playing Skyrim. I just wanted to tell all the subscribers, if you want to, I use Google Translate, so to my best ability, if you guys want to use that, just type in what language it is, and if it's in Google Translate, I'll try my best to get back to you in whatever language it is, and so forth. Alright guys, we're going to go over first the type of weapons that you can craft throughout blacksmithing. First of all, if you don't know what blacksmithing is, you're going to go into your skill tree, and it's the smithing perk. This perk will actually help you with anything that you need for building any type of gear, tier, weapons, anything like that. Starts off at steel, and then you need to figure out which kind of, let's say, suit you want to go with. Is it light armor or is it heavy armor? That's essential because depending on what weapons you want in the world of Skyrim is depicted based off of this. You get a heavy armor, you go to Dwarven, you'll get the Orcish, you'll get the Ebony, you'll get the Daedric, you'll get the Dragon. If you choose light armor, you'll get the Elven Advanced Glass. And you could eventually work your way over, but you can't go from glass and think you're going to get dragon armor. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have to go through the heavy armor way to get the last heavy armor. Just as if you were at the heavy armor side at dragon, you're like, cool, I got dragon. You're not going to go straight to glass. It doesn't work like that. Advanced armors as well. Magical weapons and armor, staves, everything like that. This is definitely an essential perk to have. Once you figured out which armor set and everything that you need to go with, you need to make your way over to a forge. You can find one at most cities, blacksmiths, and in the houses that you can create. You can put them in your basement as well. Once you have the required materials or everything like that, come to your forge. I'm at the Sky Forge in Whiterun. The first thing you could go with is Draugr. And for basic Draugr weapons, these are before any enchants. The damage numbers are looking pretty good. If you come down to iron, this is also basic. Numbers are looking, before enchants, these are looking pretty good. You can come down to steel. Everything in steel. For bolts, daggers, gauntlets, helmets, everything else like that. Now, like I said, we're sticking with just weapons. After that, it gets a little complicated. Here's heavy armor for Dwarven, and 24 for the axe, 34 for the bow, which is pretty good. Even Elven has 26 for the axe and 37 for the bow, which is pretty good numbers. Orcish is racking it up there with 23. This is also, like I said before, enchants. The dagger's rocking 15, and the greatsword is 22. Now, depending on what you spec in, either swords, maces, or axes and hammers, is going to affect these numbers as well before enchants. Ebony, you're stepping it up because it's another level based on levels and enchants if you want per will. Glass is light armor as well, rocking it with the 27 and 18. And you can make all, like I said, once you have the blacksmithing perks, you can make all these. Glass requires 2 leather strips, 1 leather to refine malachite and refine moonstone. Dragon and Daedric are the best ones that you can make once you're before DLC. First of all, you get the Daedric. You can either make the Ancient Nord stuff, which is really cool, and it's a really good outfit to have before enchants. And then, of course, the Daedric is obviously racking it in with armor 124 before enchants. So it's really good. The battle axe is coming in at 31. The bow is coming in at 54. And then the greatsword is coming in at 29. Big, big numbers. Going over to Dragon, you're coming over to 32 base damage and 57 base damage, also 31 with the greatsword, as well as big numbers. Now last, you come over here, and once you find enough, you come over to Stalhirrim. Stalhirrim can be found over in Solstein, and they bring up really even bigger numbers than Daedric and Dragon. Coming off of 29 for the battle axe, you have 24 for just the dagger, 49 for the bow, not as good as the Daedric. And then you have 28 for the greatsword, all of this before enchants, and all of this, like I said, could be made with the right materials. Stalhirrim, once you mine it with the ancient Nordic pickaxe, I'll be going over that in a short bit. Stalhirrim and leather strips just for the dagger, Stalhirrim just for the bow. It's cheaper than having to go out and farm. Just for Daedric you need 5 ebony ingot, 3 leather strips, and a Daedra heart. Dragon you need 3 leather strips, ebony, and 4 dragon bone. So it depends on which class and which heavy armor, light armor, and just depends on what you want your guy to look at and look like. Next, I'm going to be showing you guys weapons that you can either get from joining factions or weapons that you can find along in your journeys. I keep mine over here in the wardrobe inside my house. Now, this is the Dwarven crossbow that you can get from the Dawn Guard. Obviously, for this character, I'm on the Nintendo Switch, by the way. I don't think I announced that. I have characters on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, but I'm just showing you the Nintendo Switch one for right now. I went, as I said, with Dawn Guard for this one. The Legendary Crossbow, I did enchant it just a little bit, coming out with 200 damage. This is just one of the Daedric bows. I made several bows with several enchants and stuff like that. Again, once you build the bow, you can enchant it. This one's coming in at 191 damage. Nordic bow, you can find this out on your journeys in Solstein or just, wherever. You can pick this up. Dwarven bow of debilitation, another one you can find on your journeys. Forsworn bow, obviously from the Forsworn. Falmer, obviously another one you can find on your journeys as well. Ebony Sword of Fire, you can either make this or you find it on your journeys. Another one you can either make or find on your journeys. This is a light one, so another one you can find on your journeys. Elven War Axe, another one you can find on your journeys. Glass Sword of Stunning, again, another one you can find on your journeys. Blade of Woe, you get this from the Dark Brotherhood. I really do like this one because it was in Oblivion, and it was really cool because in Oblivion, you got this actually at the start, and you had to kill somebody at an inn with the Blade of Woe. So again, it's really cool. Okay, you do get this out from your journeys. Most of these in here, I just found these, either out of my journeys or made them or just did whatever. Stalhirrim 28. These aren't like the greatest ones that you can have. Red Eagle's Bane, that's really cool. That's a quest item one. The Blade Sword, I keep a few of these around just to enchant, disenchant, just do whatever with. Another one you could pick up on your journeys. Your Sword, which is really cool. I showed a video on my YouTube, and it's in my recent history. You can find out if you're on the Switch how to get that and the Hyrulean Armor and Shield. These ones are really cool. The Hollow Drain Blood and stuff like that. You can find these in certain areas. I picked them up just because they're really cool and hollow. Blade of Halmart, you get these certain blades from doing quests where you become Thane. See the Axe of Eastmarch. When you do certain quests to become Thane, you get certain weapons as rewards, not just followers, which is really cool. The Lunar Steel, there is a Lunar Forge where you can make stuff at, which is really cool too. It works better at night. Again, Blade of Winterhold, Stormfang, and stuff like that. Becoming Thane, Blade of the Reach, become Thane. These are just ones you can, basically get off quests or through your journeys. Nettlebane, this is really cool. This is actually a quest item where you go to a really beautiful cave and have to do a really cool quest. Hoarfrost and Nordic Pickaxe, these are really, really, really cool. Ancient Nordic Pickaxe is the one that you actually have to use to get the Stalhirrim, as I was talking about before, and you just mine it. Hoarfrost is really cool because it has 50 points of frost damage and stamina. And Frozen Solid chance, that's really cool. Notch Pickaxe, Lucky Dagger, that's really cool. You can find, just the name. Reichling Spears, I thought those were pretty cool. Then you have your staves that you can find on your journeys as well. Alright everyone, next we're going to go over weapons that you can either find again from factions, on your journeys through quests, or Daedric quests, and so forth through DLCs. Ariel's Bow, definitely a good weapon, coming out with 37 damage. Blood Scythe, another one, wielded with Soul Rend. Blood Skull Blade, definitely another one. You actually get this from a quest. You have to, shoot these little blasts that come out of it at this wall to finish a quest. Champion's Cudgel, I thought this was really cool because each 50% chance for each Fire, Mental Frost, and Shock to do 37 points of damage. Just for a regular base weapon you can get if you go for two-handed hammers. I thought that was really cool that they put that in the game for people. Unbreaker, definitely one of the most favorited for Daedric quest. It is a great one-handed weapon. When I was first introduced to Skyrim, I was really loving this weapon. Dragon's Bane, you get this, definitely another one that's really, really, really cool. The 20 points of damage to dragons, obviously, if you, went sword and board, this is definitely one to get when you see a dragon. Ebony Blade, another one you can get from a Daedric quest. You can pick this one up in Whiterun. Didn't go over how you can pick up Dawnbreaker because it's a random drop. You just get the beacon whenever she wants to give you the beacon. This one, you could be done at the right level because some of them are level based. So once you get the right level, you can talk to people around town, and you could ask them about the Jarl's son, and they'll tell you the Jarl's son is whispering, and that's how you get this. Enhanced Dwarven Crossbow, another one that I got from obviously being part of the Dawn Guard. Fenrir's End, 20 points of damage of frost and health and stamina, while its base damage is 37. That is insane. Harkon Sword, DLC, you get this from obviously killing Harkon. Stamina if wielded by a vampire, magic and health. With Kazavin's Fangs, obviously a quest item. Mace of Molag Bal, you get this when you go to Markarth. You can talk to the guy that's outside the abandoned house once you hit the right level. A lot of people get this too because it's favorited. It almost does 40 damage as a base level. Mehrunes Razor, personally I don't really use this, but just having the small chance of insta-killing something and doing 27 base damage is also really fun. Mirak's Staff, you can definitely get this from DLCs. Mirak's Sword, obviously, is another fan favorite because it does 29 damage plus 15 stamina, and it's also really fast to wield. So in the end, that's just really cool to have. Sanguine's Rose, obviously, if you just want to have a Dremor Lord to fight for you at all times, this is one of the major ones to pick up. Obviously, you have to go talk to Sanguine and find out where he's at under the alias Sam Govine. Skull of Corruption, this one's obviously really funny because it does 20 points of damage, increases power if the dies within dreams collected from sleeping people. You just gotta go around haunting people in their dreams with a just demonic staff. Yeah, that's really cool. You know, Soul Render, obviously I talked about it with Blood Scythe in the beginning. It does 32 base damage, absorbs 15 magic, and has a chance to dispel magical defenses, which is really cool against those mages because frost mages are very, very deadly in the world of Skyrim. Staff of Magnus absorbs 20 magic per second. You know, if you're a staffy, you know, you can run that. Volendrung, another Daedric quest, absorbs 50 points of stamina, and the base damage is 31. Wabbajack, definitely go to Solitude and just get this piece of fun material. People, you know, turn into all sorts of unpredictable things, and it's one of the greatest weapons to have. Wolfrad, definitely too, especially deadly to elves. There's a lot of Frost Mage elves, all the Thalmor elves. Zephyr is also one of my favorites too. Fires 30% faster than a standard bow, and it does 34 base damage. You have the Conjurational Bow, which is definitely good to have. In my opinion, I use it sometimes. You know, if I don't have a bow on me and I'm in a tight situation, it's always good to be able to summon something, get that crouch, and then get that shot off before, you know, they can find you or be able to do anything. And that's just if you go on that route. People use runes too, so if you see somebody coming up to you, put the rune on the ground, and then you go forth from there. It just depends on your style and your playthrough. As always, I hope you found this video very informative. I hope it gave you some insight to any weapons or anything like that you may find or anything. I know it was very vague on where I found them or what they are exactly. If you have seen any weapon that was in my inventory and have any questions about it at all, just put it in the comment section of where I got it or how I find it or anything like that. Weapons that can be enchanted or anything like that, again, that will be in enchants. If you have any questions about that or concerns, I could make a video about enchanting, on how to enchant, where to get the right stuff to enchant, and so forth. That definitely helps with your gear, it helps with your weapons, it helps with everything. Again, if you guys have any questions about anything in Skyrim other than weapons, armor, anything like that, just put it in the comments. Also about any other game, if you guys want to ask if I play any other game, also write it in the comments. Be sure to follow, subscribe. I also do stream on Twitch. I'll be streaming Fortnite, and I do stream Skyrim as well. I made a character on Xbox just for the stream, so I do be continuing that. I also post videos on TikTok every week, so be sure to, if you have TikTok or Clapper, I have downloaded Clapper, it's a new one. So if you have Clapper, be sure to follow me on that one, and definitely give me a like and subscribe to all the videos that you see, and be sure to catch me in the next one, because they will be coming soon, guys. Alright, in a bit.